Hi everyone, this is Lisa from the Rhinestone World, and in this video I'm going to show you how to cut a small decal for a little wine stopper and to get the dimensions exactly right using our Silhouette Cameo and our PixScan mat. I'm in my Silhouette Studio software. I have my default settings in. So what I did is I used my PixScan mat. I placed this onto my mat and I took a photo. And the reason why I'm doing that is that I want the exact dimensions of this heart wine stopper so I can do my design. So to bring in something for your PixScan mat, we're going to press this button here. And so this is something I brought in before. So I'm going to show import from file. Let me find it on my computer. And you can see it's going to rotate it for me. It's going to load it. So this is saying no calibration profile could be found to match the photograph. I don't think I need it, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue without calibration. So you can see it's going to rotate my photo, and what it's doing is it's looking for these registration marks along the edge of your mat. So when you take a photo, make sure that the marks are showing up well and there aren't a lot of shadows on it. This works the same way as the print and cut function does when you do stuff. So you can see here's my image and here's my mat. So you can see here are my marks on my mat, my registration marks. So if I were to cut this right on the mat, it's going to look for these marks to find it. When I end up cutting, I'm not going to use it. I'm actually just using this to get the sizing here. So this is the size of my wine stopper. So let's go ahead and type out something. This is going to be a wedding gift, so I'm going to type out the date, so 10/7/17. Let's go ahead, Control A, highlight all of this, and I'll choose my font, so I'm going to use Milesia's script. So we have this here, and let's bring this down. I filled it in a color so I can see what I'm working with. And now I'm just going to scale this down to make sure it fits onto my stopper. Now this stopper does taper, it curves. You can see that. So I'm going to use the light as my guide. Whatever is bright, that's where it's mostly flat for the lighting. So I'm just going to use that to make sure my sizing is good. So we're good there. I'm going to move this to the side because I'm going to go ahead and do something for the other side. Now I'm going to use the same font, so I'm going to hold down Alt until I get a plus sign and drag this over. This is going to make a duplicate. So I'll double click in here and type my first name, Miguel, and then I'm going to make a duplicate and type my second name, Emily. I like to use contrasting fonts for the middle part, so I'm going to make a copy and we're going to change this font to Braden. So you can see it's this blocky font, Control A, change that to and now we'll have that right in between here. Okay, so Miguel and Emily. Let's use our align tools. Let's center this, and then I'm just going to adjust this just a bit. Now I'm using script font here, so I want to go in here, modify, weld, do Control E. This will make it a compound path, and then do the same, Control E, compound path. Now this is set the way I'd like it, so I'm going to go ahead, Control G, group it, and now I'm going to find my placement onto my stopper. Now this is going to be a pretty intricate design. So we're going to put our settings, we're going to test cut them, and I'm going to cut it at the slowest speed possible because I want to make sure that this cuts well. Let's do Miguel and Emily. So you can see this is just over a ½ inch. So it's going to be very, very detailed. Let's go ahead, I'll scale it up just a little bit more. Cool. So we have this set, both of our sizes are good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my PixScan settings, remove PixScan image, and now my mat is gone. And then we're going to go over here, go to my design page settings, cutting mat, just go to Cameo. We're all set there. This will keep registration marks, so let's turn off our registration marks off. So now we have our normal cut settings again. So I'm going to set this up here, get it ready to cut, and now I'm going to go over to my cut settings, cut, and then I'm going to find my preset for FDC. I'm using a Cameo 3, so I'm going to have my automatic blade, and I'm going to turn my speed all the way down to 1. So I'll send this to the cutter, and then I'll be ready to weed. Here are both of my designs. I have them cut and weeded. You can tell on this one this is a fairly small design. You can cut designs this small. The trick is to make sure your cut settings are done perfectly. So you want to have your speed pretty low, and a lot of times little sections will come up. That's typically an indicator of your blade being out too far because it's dragging the sections out. So let's go ahead and grab our transfer tape. I'm going to cut a piece. So now I'm going to cut this in half so I can go over both my sections. Now let's drop this down on here. Let's use our burnisher. Scrape that, make sure we got it nice and tight on there. Repeat it with this. And now I'm going to lift everything up. I'm actually going to trim this closer to make it easier to apply. So let's go this way. Let's just do some trim. And I'll repeat the process for this. And because we're applying to a somewhat curved surface, I want to make sure I have it trimmed pretty closely so I don't have the bulkiness of the transfer tape getting in the way. So we'll do this. Great. Now let's move this out of the way. Now here is my stopper. I have it right here. So the first side we'll put the names on. You can see it all came up. I'm going to find my placement. Actually, I do it on this side. Find my placement. Smooth it down. And now we're just going to make sure that our decal vinyl has adhered well. So just smooth it. Because this is curved, your tape will actually kind of try to come back up. That's fine. Just make sure that your vinyl is down. So check that out. I got a little piece up here. So we have this nice and clean. So now let's go to the next side. We'll go ahead and find our placement. Set this up. And now I'm just going to repeat this process. Have this down like this. And because we used our PixScan mat, we had it exactly the dimensions that we needed. So we knew that this was going to fit well. So this is a quick project. This is a really easy, simple project. This was just a couple dollars at Target, little wine stopper. And this is barely any cost in materials. It's a great use to use your scrap FDC vinyl. So a nice custom gift you can give for a wedding. You can buy the vinyl on our website at therhinestoneworld.com. If you have any other questions, you can email us at info@therhinestoneworld.com.